So what if the constant struggle and competition we see all around us on Earth? What if that isn't the whole story? Today, we're diving into a fascinating idea from one author that maybe, just maybe, the rules of life here on our planet are a local exception in a vast, mostly cooperative cosmos.
So let's just jump right into the big question the author poses. We're always told that life is a struggle, right? Survival of the fittest. But what if that's just a local rule? Is our planet, with all its drama and conflict, the way things are everywhere? Or is it a cosmic anomaly? That's what we're going to explore.
Okay, so before we go flying off into the cosmos, the author says we need to get our feet on the ground, right here on Earth. To really get the bigger picture, we first have to have a solid framework for how living things interact in our own backyard. And that framework all starts with a word you probably know, symbiosis. But here's the twist. The author uses this term in a much broader way. For him, it's not just about a bee and a flower. It's about all the interactions between any living thing sharing a space, even between us humans in a city. This expanded view is really the key to unlocking his whole cosmic model.
So using this super broad definition, the author breaks down all the relationships here on Earth into 5 basic types. You've got mutualistic, which is your classic win-win. Then commensalistic, which is kind of like live and let live. But then you get to the more stressful ones. Parasitic, taking something that isn't yours. Competitive, which is all about fighting over the same resources. And finally, predatory, the straight-up act of attacking the weak. And when you look at these 5, the author points out something pretty stark. They basically fall into 2 camps. On one side, you've got the peaceful relationships, and on the other, the stressful ones. And here's the kicker. He argues that a whopping 3 out of the 5, parasitic, competitive, and predatory, are inherently stressful. And according to him, these are the behaviors that make life on Earth so uniquely challenging.
Okay, so now that we've got our earthly framework all set up, the author asks us to zoom out, way out. He presents what he calls a map of the cosmos, a way for us to navigate what he describes as 7 distinct levels of reality.
And this is his map. It's broken down into 7 levels. Right at the bottom, level 1, well, that's us. That's the physical universe we know and love. But as you move up, things get less dense, more subtle. Levels 3 and 4 are described as spirit worlds. Go even higher, to 5 and 6, and you're in the ethereal realms, home to beings of pure energy and light. And right at the very top, level 7, is as close as you can get to what the author calls the source of everything.
Now you might be asking, why 7 levels? Why break it up at all? Well, the author has this fantastic analogy. He says reality is all mixed together, and trying to understand it is mind-boggling. So to make sense of it, we have to sort it out, kind of like dumping a bucket of uncut diamonds on a table and sorting them into little piles. It's just a tool, a model to help our human minds wrap around a huge concept. All right, so what's it actually like in these other worlds? To paint this picture, the author pulls from sources like spirit communications and alleged messages from extraterrestrials. It's pretty fascinating stuff. Up at the very top, from levels 5 to 7, the author says the main relationship type is pure mutualism, a total win-win. His sources describe these beings as living in this giant network of communication, like one big reservoir of thought. And because of that total transparency, you can only approach them with absolute sincerity. Insincerity, they say, is just alien to them. It literally doesn't compute. Okay, let's drop down a few levels to level 3. This is a place the author's sources call Eden or Marduk. It's described as a live and let live kind of paradise. People who awaken there appear to be in their prime, maybe 25 or 30 years old. Bodies are healed, lost limbs regrow, and different beings like gnomes, giants, and humans all live together peacefully. But, and this is a big but, there's no room for bad intentions. If you bring that vibe, you're not welcome.
But here's the thing. This peaceful way of life isn't just for some far-off spirit world. The author also points to evidence of a physical, material extraterrestrial alliance operating right here in our galaxy, on our same level of reality, level 1.
And this galactic alliance, man, they operate on a completely different wavelength. According to the sources, their communication is all telepathic, mind to mind. They live completely in the now, not worrying about the past. And all those stressful emotions we deal with every day, fear, anger, secrecy, they just say, such emotions do not serve us. They're apparently hoping we'll get our act together so we can join them one day.
So, after hearing about all these peaceful places, both spiritual and physical, it kind of makes you look at Earth and go, wait, what's going on here? This brings us right back to our home planet, but with a brand new perspective. The author argues that our world is, in fact, a cosmic anomaly.
And this is really the heart of the author's entire idea, that those stressful behaviors we just assume are normal, the parasitism, the competition, the predation, they're not the universal standard. He argues they are a huge, glaring exception to a much more peaceful cosmic rule.
So why? Why is Earth the exception? The author offers up a pretty wild explanation, one that's rooted deep in mythology. He references a spirit communication that connected our fall of man to an ancient crime, a story where beings called Titans killed and literally consumed a young god to steal his life energy. He suggests that this single act introduced predatory behavior as the default setting on our planet.
Okay, so if we really are living on this uniquely stressful planet, what are we supposed to do about it? I mean, it sounds kind of bleak. But the author doesn't just lay out the problem, he actually offers a way forward, a path to finding personal peace, even in a chaotic world.
And that path isn't about trying to fix the whole world. It's about fixing our own connection. The author proposes that the single most powerful, most reliable, win-win relationship you can ever have is a direct, personal one with the source, that fundamental energy that creates and sustains everything.
And he doesn't just leave it at that, he actually gives a practical technique to do this. It's a simple meditation focused on the heart. First, you just close your eyes and relax. Let your mind go quiet. Then, you consciously move your awareness out of your head and down into your chest. The author suggests a cool trick, like imagining an anchor dropping down and settling in your heart space. And finally, on your out-breath, you silently repeat a simple mantra to hold that focus and deepen that connection.
And that's where we land. The author gives us this incredible vision of a universe that's overwhelmingly peaceful and cooperative, with our little planet being a rare, stressful exception. So the final question is really for you. If you were to even entertain this cosmic perspective, how might that change the way you look at your own struggles, our conflicts, and our place in the universe? It's definitely something to think about.